Dale Auger is a 35-year-old elementary school dropout who's completing a master's degree at the University of Calgary. It's a pretty neat description, but Auger is anything but neat. He's a mess of contradictions. First, he's an artist, then a storyteller, also a musician, and a teacher who combines traditional woodland Cree philosophy with new hard drive technology. His medium may change, but his message remains the same. If you want to understand the other guy, you got to try to understand his song. You speak to anybody who listens. You go to universities, you go to schools, you are on stages. You were invited by Canada Mortgage and Housing?
Yeah, that was a...
What did they want from you?
These are people that want basic questions answered. Why do Indians punch holes in their walls? You see, these are dealing people...
Whoa! What?
Well, this is a reality. I mean, I don't feel that I have to hold back on reality, and these are questions they say to themselves anyway. When they go back to their office and they all sit around, darn those Indians, they punch holes in the walls. Well,
so what?
Yes,
let's call an Indian and ask him.
It's funny. Yes, it's funny, but I think at some point it has to get away from being funny and start to be dealt with the reality. And I commend that. I commend that manager.
What the heck did you tell them?
I explained to them basically that once you get out of your mindset, the first task is to get out of your own mindset. You see, that Indians are lazy, they're no good for nothing, this and that, they're drunks. First the job comes from you. You have a responsibility to get your own mindset out of the way, and then once there's space in there, let me come through and I can give you a good description of what it really means to be lost and misplaced or displaced.
But this is what is interesting. When you go in and do the talks, you use humor. What's so funny about anything you just told me?
Well, I laugh at myself. I laugh at the people where I come from. That's my world. I feel like if I can bring something from, let me give you an example.
Yeah.
When I go home, I have a little cabin where I go to and I get my peace of mind back. Whenever I drive down that road, on the reserve, I drive down that road, there's 3 bachelors that live. And every time I drive down that road, they look out the window and they watch me, and they all, each their turns, wander into my cabin there. And they want, you know what they want to know? Basic things like, what's it like out there? Tell me. And I tell them things. I tell them things like, did you know that you're not supposed to eat an apple without washing it? No. What do you mean? The white man, he puts some kind of poison on it. No. The white man would never do that. You see, the two worlds themselves. One believes this way and the other believes this way, and yet it can be humorous. It can be really funny.
Well, we talk about stereotypes, and you mentioned the stereotypes that white men have about Indians, but there are also stereotypes that Indians have about white people. That's funny.
Yes.
Don't hold back.
There's an expression we always use. Muniao. Munia hasut. It's like, oh, you're a white man. Which means that, could be that, oh, you're smart. You're like a white man. You see, it's like, it's not insulting the white man. It's putting reference to that, oh, you're cagey like the white man. Muniao. You see? So we have our own stereotypes too.
Why do you tattoo your initials into your hand? I mean, I'm sorry. I would think you were in jail.
I knew you were coming.
I mean, that reinforces whatever myths you want to...
Yes. Well, I guess I didn't hide them good enough.
No,
Yeah.
you didn't. I couldn't-
Okay, well, it's simple. When I was 12 and 13 years old, I wanted to go to jail. I did,
This was your ambition?
yes, because everybody that came back from jail were strong, muscular, clean, and they had tattoos. I'll tell you a story. When I was 12 or 13 years old, I wanted to go to jail on Halloween. Um, I lit a fire on the railroad tracks. I thought that was such a big, bad thing. And I wanted to go to jail. This police officer caught me. And I thought, wow, I'm finally going to go to jail. He kicked my ass. He kicked my ass home. The best thing I always look at, because my urge to just want to be where all the other men were. The young, strong men, they went to this place. They came back with tattoos. And so, grade 6, we did our tattoos.
So this was
Everybody has them.
your idea at that time of being a macho Indian male?
Yes. Yes.
But it's interesting, one of your performance pieces is about the Indian man.
Yes.
So from what you tell me, he's not in such good shape.
Well, not at this point. But I think,
So who really is the tough one? The Indian woman? Is it really a matriarchal society? Is it the woman who holds it all together?
well, I got to be honest with you, the women have held things together fairly well. But you got to realize here that what has happened from the beginning of when these people came to the shores, there was this outright witch hunt on our Indian men.
But
Yes, you're right. I was raised. I was raised by, by a woman, and
your father wasn't the strong one in the household?
my father left when I was quite young. I was raised fatherless to a degree, but he died at 42.
How did he die?
Even myself, I don't feel comfortable saying
Really?
that he had a drinking problem. He was an alcoholic, and when you live that life, it wasn't a great death, but I'm a father now.
Yeah.
And I have to look at how it is now. I must break that cycle. I must break it. And we as Indian men must break it. We must start to be responsible as Indian men to be with our families, to be as one. As it turns out, my mother it's actually my mother who took the different approach. I would say they classified her as a radical. She held up Indian Affairs offices. I mean, looking back at this, when we were kids, she took us out to Ottawa because she wanted to get more of this, this equality. And she was not so institutionalized, I guess you'd say. She didn't spend time in the mission schools as much. So she realized that there was a different world, that we had our own creator, our own God, and that was the road she took.
But did her anger affect you? Did it make you an angry young man?
It made me very angry. It made me very angry.
At what? Who?
I was angry at the Queen. I was angry at these people for coming over here and putting us in these little boxes. You see, I was angry at everything the way it turned out. This land, all this land, our people roamed this land, and all of a sudden we were in this little box. We had numbers. We were like cattle.
So how far did you go in school?
I dropped out at grade 6.
You were a grade 6 dropout?
I'm a grade 6 dropout, and
Who's getting his master's in education?
well, that took a long journey, and it's still a journey.
Can you straddle two worlds successfully?
At times it gets really hard. It does.
Would you have to wear two hats, or is it just you?
Oh, I have to wear 2 hats. I have to wear 2 hats. It's not easy, but I feel like I want to do it. I feel like I could do it without changing me, who I am. It's not always a good thing. Let me just give you an example. This is me. This is my creative side. I love to be free. I love to be creative. I love to be artistic. I love to wear this downtown. It's not always a good thing, though.
Why? What happens when you wear the
The black
down there?
hat.
Yeah.
We have in our minds, first of all, that the black hat is bad. Okay? When I wear the black hat, automatically guards go up. He's an Indian guy with long hair and he's wearing a black hat. Be cautious of him. See, we're all trained to believe that the white hat is a good
Yeah, but
thing.
wait a minute. Do you sometimes wear this black hat, which is cool, because you want to push back a little?
Yes,
Huh?
maybe.
Huh?
Maybe I do. I do. I want to feel like this is my place too. Hey, I feel great. I feel good about myself. Why not? But it's not always good sometimes. The police don't like it. If I don't want that hassle sometimes, I just take this hat off. And I wear this hat. All of a sudden, I'm in. You see?
And not so threatening?
Not so
No.
threatening.
Yeah, I think.
University of Calgary Law. Oh, wow. You're studying law? This is the thoughts in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's studying law. Wow. Wow. He's going to go back and save his people. And they feel like they want to tap. Great work, great work. Go back and save your people. Be loyal to your people. Makes them feel good, you see? There's a real difference.
There is.
Why? I'm confused about that. And I play on it. Maybe we're talking about extremes here, but there are other worlds too. You know, my jackets.
I like the red one.
I would prefer it. I would prefer to stay on this side.
I am curious. I was noticing that picture back there.
Oh,
You went to London to visit the Queen.
I went over there to do a Royal Command performance. They
How is
summoned me over
How
there
is it you were summoned? Why you?
because of my drum. And they were honoring the drum. Little did I realize that the reason they were doing this was to celebrate all the conquered people. They were celebrating conquering us. Can you imagine that? And because I played a drum, I was one of them. So we got
So what
to
you were token Canadian Indian
Yes.
going?
Yes. You know what's interesting about that story is when I had the Queen come in front of me, I was nervous as heck because I just didn't really know what I was going to do, what I was going to do with all this anger built up all these years. You know what she said to me? Do you speak your native tongue? Well, on one side of me said, no thanks to you, but I didn't say that. I said, my mother says hi. What could I do? I had to be polite.
You have 3 children.
Yes.
You're getting your master's in education. Your wife is going to be a lawyer.
Yes.
How do you teach your children who they are?
I take on a responsibility as to live a spiritual life the best way that I can. And I share that with my kids. So we smoke the pipe as a family and we doctor each other. You see? We're all one. We're all on this trip together. And so when they're healed, they can go back out there for another,
And healing means what? What is it?
going back to who you are, the songs, you see? If I feel strong, I can go anywhere. But the minute I'm feeling a little bit weak, I've got to go get recharged. And it's our spirituality that is the key.
Why do you keep doing it?
I have this time on this earth, and I want to do what I think is what the Creator gave me to do. It gave me these certain skills to move my hands, to talk to the birds, to sing the songs, to use my hands to create. That's what I do.